Well, hello my fellow car modelers. It's my day off. Get up this morning. I got something in the mail. I figured I should share this with you. Sorry if I don't seem all lively about it. It's not the thing that I got in the mail that I'm not lively about. I'm not lively because it's the morning and after a long work week I'm a bit tired. We all go through that. Nothing livens you up more than getting a really cool model kit, right? And I got one. Check this out. Let's take a look at it together. We again got ourselves a new take on an old kit from Salvinos JR. This is pretty cool. This is something that is kind of unique from the old 80s NASCAR. And yeah, let's take a look at it. I don't know if you guys notice the difference, you know. Monogram put these things out forever and ever and ever as a couple of different versions of the Monte Carlo SS, but Monogram never did it like this. And do you see what that is? That's not a Monte Carlo SS. And many of you who might have not been around back in the day know that in NASCAR, in the early days of the downsized cars, and when a few of the teams were starting to run the Chevrolet Monte Carlo, this was what they had to run, was this, what we call the flat nose, which was basically the standard nose on a Monte Carlo for the SS. Let's take a look at this old kit with the unique reimagining. We're probably not going to be surprised here, so let's take a look at it. And to start off, again, we have some great looking box art that has a picture of Bobby Allison's 82 Monte Carlo. Right off the bat, we have some great reference pictures. So let's go ahead and open it up. There we go. Again, perfect. Basically the old Monogram Monte Carlo, the notchback. And that's great. But what we're here to see is the cool extra parts. That nose. So let's take a look at the nose, because that's really the big winning part of this kit. Here's that nose. Let's get it out of there. I haven't really taken a good look at the instructions yet, but I'm not for sure what these other spoilers are. I think they're just added stuff for other kits that they do. This looks more like a Pontiac spoiler. This, I don't know if that looks more like the Buick one, but yeah, neither one of these, I believe, are for the Monte Carlo. Take these off. And we're going to basically, little model parts from the Chevelle there. You're basically going to want to really look at that nose. In the past, for a long time, we did have a company that put out a resin nose, and it was really rough and hard to work with. It was created originally by an old friend of mine from many, many years ago. He was a great Southern California model builder, Ron Bolton. And he was one of the early resin casters. He had a company called Mad Dog Models. Some of you old timers probably remember it. And he was the first guy to really start doing some NASCAR stuff in the late 80s. And he was pumping out bodies of the Lumina before the Monogram Lumina came out. And he was doing a conversion flat nose. And it was pretty nice. It was very nice, but the casting was rough, which made it really hard to work with. I had one once. It was tough. Now we don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. And I know other people came out with resin noses like that, and I think they were based off of Ron's original nose. But this one being in styrene, it has the mounts for the chassis. It just will work a lot better on this car, I bet. But you know what? I happen to have almost finished Monte Carlo flat nose with the resin nose on it. Well, like we did with the 2+2, let's compare. So here's an old project. Boy, this one thing, if you guys can see it, this will teach you a lesson, is when you're in the middle of building something, look at that, I got pieces of stuff. What the heck is that in the engine? That'll go into the fan. When you leave a project alone on the shelf, uncleared, it gets attacked by dust. So there's your PSA for today from old Luka Cee. It just gets embedded, and yeah, it pretty much ruins what you were working on. Don't leave them out. I had some decal problems here, and because of this, I was doing this with some decals I got from a Model King kit. I really like how this looks, and I'm gonna have to remove these decals. And I'm telling you guys this because I want to give a shout out to a fellow model car hobby headquarters group member on Facebook Brandon Johnson. I put something up saying, hey, does anybody have these decals? I really want to redo this kit. It really bums me out. And he came to the rescue and sent me a new set of these decals. So I just want to give a shout out to Brandon. Thanks a lot, bud. There's the car that you're going to help me resurrect. I told you what it means to me, and that was really an important thing. So thanks a lot. So, man, that's just a great thing. If you're not a member, Model Car Hobby Headquarters Facebook group, you should join. There's just a great bunch of guys, and they help each other out with tips, great attitudes, no bad blood or anything. We kind of keep that out of there. No negativity. It's all about having fun in the hobby. Back to what we're talking about is this nose, and we'll show you. This here is the resin nose that was the old Mad Dog Models Ron Bolton. It looks really good, but the reason why it looks good is because we had to heavily work that thing. It did not work very well. It was almost kind of narrow or something. We had to get this thing to fit the monogram body. Had to do a ton of cutting to the monogram body, and of course you don't have really a place for your clips to go in. You kind of have to even modify your bumper horns there on the chassis. Yeah, it was a bear to work with, and you can see I did a lot of filling in back there. It was what you call a slush mold, where it's not a two-piece mold they use. You just have one mold. It's kind of the old ways. It's nothing against what Ron was doing. I'm not bashing him at all. He was the one who put it out there for the modelers, so it's not one big disc against him. It was just the technology of the day. You know, they would just make one mold of the front, and they would just pour resin in there, and it would just fill up a little and fill up, so it would be really thick and thin on the sides, and it was kind of tough to work with, but we got it worked. And but it came with not a lot of detail. There was no grill detail, and you can just kind of see the roughness of it. There's a lot of this stuff I added, and you know, it took a lot. So that would get a lot of people to shy away. You're only going to get a certain percentage of model builders that are going to go ahead and make this. So a lot of guys are like, man, I want to do a flat nose, but I don't want to work that hard. It kind of puts some people off, you know. It almost didn't happen for me. And I actually had a friend help me with that. I can't take a lot of the credit for that. Now we don't have to worry about that, because here we go. I'm going to set this aside. I haven't even messed with this yet. There's the body. I haven't done anything. No cutting. Just a little bit of smoothing out on the edge there. And then we've got this fantastic nose. Let's take a quick look at it. Beautifully designed. Looks just like a flat Monte Carlo nose. Perfect. All nice, and you know, it's styrene, so everything is correct from both sides, one end to the other. And again, we've got those mounting points that are really helpful when you're putting these models together. Much better detail. We've got grill detail now, and you can always add things like what I did on the resin nose. Let's do a test fit. Not even gluing on. I haven't done this yet. We've got those tabs right there that go behind the fenders, and it pops in there, and there you go. Fits nice and smooth on there. Look at on that side. It fits beautiful. Everything lines up. You cut this off right here, because that is just a portion of the SS nose. That, well, it coincides with the SS nose. There was fender extensions when it had an SS nose because it was lower. So, yeah, definitely excellent look. That's a simple variation. Now we got a simple variation to do the older Monte Carlos pre-SS. Something a lot of builders always wanted, but just didn't want to take on the resin one. This is, as you can see from my kit, I had to remove all of this for the radiator support. And this, it's just a neat detail when you have the engine bay, and now you can keep it because this is designed for it and fits right in there. So, really good. Got a good look. So much easier. So happy. I'm going to build this. As far as the rest of the kit, we know that story. We know it's excellent. These old Monogram NASCAR kits, I've gone on and on, done plenty of videos of them. They're outstanding kits. And don't forget, the main thing you need is a nice cold cup of coffee when you're building. So there you have it. Another one to build. I pretty much know what car I'm going to build. Being a Darrell Waltrip fan that I am, I always wanted to do that flat nose Pepsi car. I hope you enjoyed this. This kit is available all over the place on the internet. You can contact Salvino'sJR. They have a neat little program that if you sign up for them for a certain amount of money, for a year you're in this club and you basically get a kit a month. That's a pretty cool thing, so check that out if you're really into getting these NASCAR kits. They did this, and I've said this before, they did this at a really great time, because all of a sudden lately I've noticed that there's been this resurgent popularity of vintage NASCAR, because people seem to be kind of down on NASCAR today. The cars aren't what they were, you know. They're not as exciting to some people. Not knocking the sport, but it is what it is. It's not as big as it used to be. A lot of the guys who weren't around back in the day, like us old dudes who saw the cars run on the track, are starting to look back and go, wow, the cars, they look more like the cars on the street. Plus, the popularity of 80s cars are really starting on the surge. So there became this boom interest again in the old Monogram 80s NASCARs. For a while you couldn't give the things away, and then they're gone, and now people want them, and they almost vanished. But thanks to Salvinos JR, they jumped in, got a hold of those tooling from Revell, and they're knocking it out of the park and starting to reimagine some of those kits, which were kits that we always wanted. And I think this is pretty cool. It's a new age for the car modeler, and we're going to be the lucky recipients on that. So hey, that's cool. I want to thank you guys for watching, and if you really enjoy this channel and you want to help support it, check out our merch. We've got all kinds of shirts, and you want to walk around with a Model Car Hobby headquarters shirt when you walk into your hobby shop, or you walk into that model show, or you go over to your buds or your model club and you say, yeah, I'm a part of it. Yeah, we all want to be a part of it, right? So check out our Teespring store. And we even got mugs. So remember what I always say, this is me, Luka Cee. Keep gluing those fingers together and keep cutting that styrene. We'll see you in the next video. I think this is pretty cool. It's a new age for the car modeler, and we're just a lucky recipient. We're just a lucky recipient. We're just a lucky recipients. Have some cold coffee. I'll probably be able to say it. We'll have some. We'll be the happy recipient. I'm not going to say it. It's just not going to happen. Recipients. And we're going to be the lucky. Are we live? No, we're not live. We got ourselves another old take on it. We got ourselves a new take on an old. We got ourselves an old. We got ourselves. We got it. We definitely got it. We got ourselves a new take on an old kit. We again got ourselves a new take on an old kit from. It's eventually going to happen. I'm telling you. So we've got ourselves a new take on another. We got ourselves another new take on an old kit from Salvinos JR. We got ourselves another. We got ourselves another. We got ourselves another. We got ourselves another. I've lost my mind. We got ourselves another. We got ourselves another new take on an old kit from. We got ourselves another. This ain't gonna happen. I can't do this. I'm not professional. This was a battle for me. Jeez. We got ourselves a new take on an old. We again got ourselves a new take on an old kit from Salvinos JR. Oh, I finally said it.